your heart be broken for a world in need. Feed the mouths that hunger, soothe the wounds that bleed. Give the cup of water and the loaf of bread. Be the hands of Jesus serving in his stead. Here on earth applying the principles of love, visible expression, God still rules above. Illustration of the living word to the minds of all who've never seen or heard. Let your heart be tender and your vision clear. See mankind as God sees, let far and near. Let your heart be broken by a brother's pain. Share your rich resources, give and give again.
Thank you so much, Marie and Michelle. And they're also fresh, back from the mission trip, and arguably the most popular among the group. I don't know how many hundreds of pictures the Filipinos took with these two young ladies. And thank you so much. And it's nice to be back here in my home church. And if you notice that I have regained my Filipino accent, or I still have retained, it's because of the more than month long of preaching, speaking in the Tagalog language. Although in the place that we went, they have a very different dialect, which is Visayan. And so Dr. Peterson has to preach in English and would be translated in Visayan. But I did not have a translator, and everybody, I guess, understood. I asked them if they understood my dialect, and everybody said yes. So hopefully they were also blessed. So I'm still in the jet lag, if you notice that I'm still sluggish, but I hope that we will be able to do this, and ask the help of my companions to also give the report. There were 24 of us. 20 came from Odessa, and 4 came from Midland Church. Although my family, Jeffrey's family, Naila, and Alan, we all still came from Midland. Anyway, but we represented the Odessa Church, and on the last Sabbath, before the baptism, the church gave us, the mission gave us a plaque of appreciation. So I'm bringing it with me. It says Dumaguete South Central SD Church. That's the church in Bagakay. uh, in appreciation awarded to Odessa English SDA Church for the noteworthy devotion and wholehearted commitment to support the medical mission and hope for the family seminar on July 1 to 8 in the Dumaguete Wagakay Church in the island of Negros Oriental, and given the 8th of July 2022, signed by the President, by the church pastor, and by the church elder, and by the coordinator of the mission, Pastor Lindio. So this is ours to keep, and I bring it and share it with our church in Odessa. And as you notice, I still have the hangover from the Philippines. It's we did not came all at the same time, but I guess most of, if not everyone, is already back in the U.S. I talked to Alan Thursday, and he said that he is passing through Sweden, so I guess he's still in Sweden right now. But everybody is back already, I guess. And as you notice, I have several of my, not only my Filipino attire, but this is not a necklace, okay? This is the Filipino lei that they gave me, made of coconut shells and seashells. And this is the one they gave me to welcome me from the airport, with a big banner that has our picture, the whole group picture. And then on Sabbath, on the church, they welcomed us and gave us this beautiful, like a flower type of, to welcome us. And also on Sunday, for the medical mission, everyone involved in the medical mission, the personnel, I think there's 80 of us involved in, were given a badge to know that we are part of the medical mission. So I'll be showing you some pictures, because our trip over there is not only an evangelistic crusade, which we were able to baptize on the ocean on the last Sabbath. And I'll show you some pictures. We have also did a big medical mission, which we were able to serve a lot of patients, more than 500 patients on that one Sabbath. But before we go into my report, I would like to share with you a text from the Bible, and it's found in the book of Matthew chapter 28, verses 19 and 20. And it says, "So go and tell people of all nations the good news, and baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Teach them everything I've taught you. I'll always be with you, even unto the end of the world." So this is the gospel commission that Jesus gave, and also conveyed to us as his disciples, that we have to spread the gospel message. And so we chose this time to do, that's why we call it a mission, because it's going outside of the country, outside of our comfort zones, and to a third world country, in order to share the good news of salvation. And we are so happy to give you the report of what the church had fully supported and given your prayers and financial support. So this is the medical mission that we did, and we offered Operation Tule, eye consultation and reading glasses, dental consultation and tooth extraction consultation, free haircut and massage, blood typing, psychological and spiritual counseling, and that's for the one day of July 2. And so we were supposed to start at 9 o'clock. So the group, we were picked up at 8 o'clock in the hotel. And we thought we were early, you know. But when we reached the place, there were already more than 100 people lined up. They said they were already there waiting since 6 o'clock in the morning. They'd like to be the first in line to avail of the free consultations that we did. So we started with a briefing and prayer. After that, we had the group. We had all the volunteers wearing a T-shirt, a white T-shirt that says medical rally, and also a badge. We have more than 80 people just to support. We have, I think, 6 people, 6 doctors were assigned to circumcision, that's Operation Tule, the minor surgery, and plus several nurses. I think Helen will give a report because she was assigned there in that section. And then we have maybe 7 doctors in the dental part helping, and most of them were non-Adventists. They also volunteered. And we have also doctors in consultation, medical consultation. Dr. Peterson was one of those that did that. Me and Nancy helped in the psychological counseling. We were giving counseling and prayers to some of the patients, and all the team members were assigned in different categories. Nyla, where were you assigned, Nyla? Optometry. We also have optometry. Dr. Elnar, Daniel's mom, was in charge. We brought more than 300 eyeglasses. We gave them all out, okay, and for free. So it's a big thing. And in fact, we flew some doctors, that did the surgery from the capital city of Manila, and they stayed there. And after the medical rally, they flew back. So this is our coordinator, Pastor Lindio, and he's wearing the T-shirt with Mary Ann Elnard. That's Daniel's older sister. She did a lot of work for us to coordinate the medical mission, and and she will be coming here, I guess, as a nurse very soon this year. And so she did a lot of help coordinating that one. This is the consultation. And if you could see, most people, everybody did register. And as I said, after they registered, they were given in different sections of medical. And that's one of the non-Adventist friend that was helping in registration. And because in the Philippines, not everybody is able to get medical or avail of any medical help, and so they take advantage of free medical. We have to rent more than 200 chairs like there outside of the church compound, and also build a canopy so that we will be able to accommodate everybody. There's no air conditioning. Everybody there was sweating in, I think, 80 to 90 degrees. It's hotter actually in Odessa, okay? The only difference is the humidity there is more than, I think, 100%. And so you'll be sweating the whole day. So these are some of the volunteers helping in evaluation. I think Dr. Peterson is the one on the mask. And he has a personal translator, so that person is a nurse beside him that would translate in the local dialect, which I could not understand also. And they were laughing every time I say something because they knew it was wrong. And so it was some of the... and Nancy was also there. She's the assistant of Dr. Peterson there. And every time there's somebody that needs psychological counseling, we would, Nancy, we did that on our part. Next. And this is another doctor. See, the doctors that volunteered were really young doctors, and we also, uh, and some of them were graduates from our own university, Adventist University of the Philippines. I think 6 of them came from that university, and some were local doctors. That lady on the white is a pediatric doctor, so all the kids came to her. That's her daughter right there, also a graduate of Adventist University of the Philippines, assisting, and so you could see all those moms with their kids lined up. And I think this is the one for the blood typing, or they have to also get their blood pressure before they could go any further. And so those are the volunteers also that help us. We gave more than 500 masks that we brought from here. Also, we gave more than 300 pens, ball pen that says Odessa Seventh-day Adventist Church. I think I still have some leftovers. So if you, I think 2 or 3 leftovers. So, and so Naila was helping also. I could see your picture over there, okay? And that's during the morning of the consultation, okay? And so, yeah, these are some of the doctors that were helping. As I said, maybe there were more than 100 people helping us out, but only we had printed 80 shirts, because I know some of them were still asking me, some of the nurses, if we still have some. And I think everybody in the group, 80 of us, have this badge with us of, it says, accord, okay, about the medical team. So, yeah, I think one of them is the, yeah, as you could see, Dr. Peterson was so busy the whole day. And I think, Doc, you did also minor surgery, right? You helped, I think he took out a cyst from one of the ladies, right? From one of the ladies. And where was the cyst? In the back?
On the posterior thigh.
Okay, so that's the medical term, okay? Posterior thigh, okay. Probably that's somewhere in the thigh, upper or lower thigh, maybe somewhere there. Okay, vision, okay. Dr. Elnar, that's Daniel's mom, was in charge. That's her assistant, okay? And we were able to visit also Daniel's dad, Antonio, okay? The Chinese, Daniel is half Chinese. His dad is a full-blooded Chinese, okay? So he's half. And so everyone in the section has to go through her. And those are the eyeglasses that we brought. Naila brought more than 100, and I think Daniel brought more than 200 eyeglasses. So we brought maybe 50, so more or less we had 400 or more or less that we were able to give up. I think Michelle and Marie were also helping out, sort out and assisting the eyeglasses. If you could see in the next slide, there's a long line of people to be evaluated. They have to be evaluated and given the free eyeglasses. It's so expensive. Not all people there could afford the eyeglasses. So we just gave them, eyeglasses. It was one of the longest line that they have, and it took them the whole day. By the time they were done, it's already 5 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time we were able to evaluate everybody. And this is inside the church. As you could see, there's some of the volunteers helping out, sorting them out, where to sit, where to go, and it's a big church. And but Sabbath, that was really full. I guess more than 500 people were there on the Sabbath inside the church. So Doc, you were able to preach to more than 500 people, okay? That's you know, you never will be able to do that in Midland, Doc. Okay. Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah. And so this is like a brand new church. Not so new probably because Daniel has been, when Daniel was there, by the way, our host in Dumaguete is Daniel Elnar because they came from that city. And he said that he's not a member there because that church was not non-existent yet. So when he was there, so they just built that, and it was one of the. It's a beautiful church, and what I'm happy is it's one of the churches in the Philippines that is air conditioned. Okay, air conditioned. Actually, it's air conditioned. Okay, not all churches there. It's just one. I think in Daniel's home church, it's not air conditioned. It's also, and the only setback I have in that beautiful church, and that's our. We are pampered here because our pews are padded. Okay? In the Philippines, none of the pews, even in the big university that I went, none of the pews were padded. Okay? Even in the mission church, none of the pews were padded. You have to sit in wooden chair and pews. Okay? Oops, surgical, that's a minor surgical. In the Philippines, it's a custom, it's a cultural thing that the young people, young kids in their adolescence has to be circumcised. So that's there's like 7 doctors there that was assigned. Helen will talk more about it because she was assigned there. And I was asking Helen, how many did you circumcise? And Helen said about 50 plus, about 60. Okay? So, but there's a few that, and you could see we provided all those instruments, those surgical instruments, the medication, the anesthesia, and everything. And we had a whole pharmacy of people assigned dispensing the medication, the prescription. And we gave that all for free to the people. So, in fact, we still have some leftovers. I guess they said that they will be using it in the next one. Dental, okay. We had there, tooth extraction mostly. That lady is one of the members of the church, and she's married to a dentist who is not a member, but also volunteered his time and took his whole team with him. There's like 7 doctors there doing the tooth extraction and other dental operations that they were using. So that's one also of the biggest line of people. And they were standing there, I think, for hours just to avail of this opportunity to get dental services. So this was done inside the church because as you could see, the place, the venue is so difficult. As you could see, it's a big church, but so one section was dedicated to the dental. They had to. There's some people, nurses, helping out to. Every time they had, I think they put anesthesia here, anesthesia. By the time they came to the last one, they're able to start with this one, okay, to pull the teeth. But they have to, what you call the instruments, they have to clean it up and disinfect it, okay. And we have also massage, okay. And this is like reflexology and other massage people that help. And I think Nyla went for massage every day after this one. And so pharmacy team, see, those are several, maybe 10 people assigned in the pharmacy. And those are all some of the medicines that need. And we have a really pharmacists that help there. I think so. That's the end of the medical mission. I think, Nyla, could you please come and share with us some of your experiences? And then later on, I'll also give some report about the crusade. And Nyla was the one who stayed the longest, okay? Because after the crusade, she stayed there for another 2 weeks. So what were you doing there, Nyla, for the last 2 weeks? See if you don't
I'll
like to
never
go.
tell.
I think you didn't like to go home. You came back with a beautiful tan. See, it's a nice.
I did get a nice little tan. So my experience was extremely overwhelming. I mean, it is going to take a lot for me just to really not cry while I'm up here. The people are amazing. The church was extraordinary. I learned a lot from their habits, their traditions. It made me very humble. It made me realize that we need a lot more church activities in our church because they have a huge church family. And girls, didn't we have a wonderful time? Wasn't it just an absolute wonderful time with those kids? I just love, that was the hardest thing, leaving those kids. We had a big water balloon fight during the mission, and I think we blew up, I want to say about 700 water balloons. And one wonderful thing about that, we were late getting to the church. We were in Sikihor and stuck on the ferry, couldn't get in. I was panicking, thinking, oh, I have so many water balloons to fill up, and those kids are waiting on me. And, you know, those kids helped me fill up those water balloons. They were just as patient, and these girls helped, and everybody pitched in, and the kids the memories, you know, we made memories for them. And that was part of one of my testimony was that I had wonderful memories in church. And I wanted these children to have wonderful memories in church, and it meant something. And I think we really inspired them in a lot of ways, but they mostly inspired me and us. But we did do a lot of things. I ended up taking, after everybody left, I ended up taking a big, huge group of them. We went to the beach, and we just had a whole fun day at the beach, and food, and we just spent the whole day burying each other in the sand, and praised God, sang songs, and just really had a wonderful time. I actually only had one dull day, and that was on a Tuesday, and lo and behold, wasn't it a typhoon that came in? I was at Daniel's place, sitting there indoors, and it was my first day where I had absolutely nothing to do, and I thought, wow, I don't even know what to do with myself, but it rained all blasted day long, and it was still wonderful. It was still wonderful because one of the ladies from the mission came over and visited with me, and we took a walk in the rain and still praised God for every minute of it. And so, you know, that was just a wonderful thing. They celebrated God every single day, and they worshiped together every single day. They sang songs every single day. They taught me a lot about what you need to do to love God, and I'm grateful for it. I truly am. I'm grateful for every minute, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been able to go and the people that I was able to go with. I thank you all. And Daniel, I love your sister. She's absolutely phenomenal. She's one of my best friends now. Truly, she is my best friend. She sent me stuff for you. And I love her. Everybody was so wonderful and so gracious, and it was an experience I'll never forget. And I want to say that if you ever get an opportunity to go on a mission trip out of overseas, in states, it doesn't really matter. It will change your life, and I recommend it. I ask you to please don't ever say no to an opportunity where you can go, and if you want, maybe you can take me with you.
Nyla, did you do some snorkeling?
I did do some snorkeling. I swam with turtles. Hello, turtles and monkeys. We've seen monkeys. Now I never even imagined. Oh, I didn't get to hold the monkeys, but I wanted to so bad. I said, please, come let me hold you. They wouldn't let me do that. But the turtles, yeah, I swam with turtles. First time I'd ever snorkeled in my life. It was an experience I must do again and again and again and again because there are so many wonderful things.
Did the pastor went with you?
No, actually it was Mimosa. Mimosa, she runs the Adventist Academy, and it was just her and I that went. I see what you did there.
the pastor there is not ordained in the church. You know why? Because he's single. Okay?
And gee, who do you think was trying to hook me up with the pastor? Okay, now I'm done. Thank you very much.
So, Nyla is wearing a Filipina dress, right?
Yes, I got this in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
It actually goes up like this. So I figured if I need to, I can wear it as a muumuu someday.
Okay.
It was a wonderful experience, Pastor. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm glad that, I was worried when Nyla said that he would give a balloon fight for the kids. I said, no, the kids here doesn't do that. But I think they had a good time, okay? So they did it for the first time. Okay, and so from the young people perspective, from the youth, we'll ask one of the, Baby Jane, Elnar. So this is from the youth side.
It was so fun. We went there a month before the actual mission trip, but it was like, it's different being able to be like, okay, it's different being able to be like, okay. Can I talk later? Okay, it's different being able to be like, sorry. It's different being able to be like, I get to go to my cousins and, having like, but, sorry. It's good having like blood family, and it's nice being able to be like, yeah, it's nice being able to be like, I have an aunt, and like getting to have like uncles that, sorry.
Everybody's an uncle.
Yes, everyone's an uncle. Everyone's name is Jun, and the kids are they're not shy at all. Like they'll really like talk to you, and sorry, and they're not shy, and it's just nice over there.
Did you enjoy the social?
Yeah, the social night was good. You get to march. Is it? What is it? What's it called? Marching. And nice. Like everyone was in pairs, and everyone like went in a row, and it was nice. And Mr. Allen and his partner also. It was fun.
We did not do any dancing during social night, but we did what we call the vegetarian dance.
Vegetarian dance. Yes. No swaying, just straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else about?
Everything is way more fun in the Philippines. Thank you. It was so good.
Okay. And are we ready for the crusade? I'll show some pictures. Okay. Okay. So that's the tag. That's the tag team. Okay. David and Goliath. Okay. I did the Bible seminar, the lecture, the quiz master, and awards, and Dr. Peterson was our main speaker for the Hope of Family. Okay, so, but before that, I did the Bible seminar. So, that's our team, okay? David and Goliath, okay? And Nancy, of course, did in charge of the health lecture. So every evening we had a health lecture. And we did the new start. And so we started with nutrition, exercise, and what else? Exercise, that's Jackie. Water, that's Helen doing the seminar. Sunshine, and Nyla did a lecture on temperance. So I guess she's more temperate now, okay? So the temperance, okay? And then air. You will be surprised. Alan, one of our members from Kenya, did a lecture on air. Alan Omolo, okay, and he's a new member here. And then Dr. Peterson and Nancy did that one, and also Trust in God, Sophia McEwen, they were there for that. Sophie did the Trust in God, and then of course nightly we had a Bible lecture that I did in Filipino, and And so we were also giving out awards after the quizzes. We brought 2 balikbayan boxes, the big box of our Bibles and Bible stories, Spirit of Prophecy books, Great Controversy, Desire of Ages. Every evening we were giving out prizes. There were more than 60 people that, aside from the members, non-Adventist 60, and we would choose every evening about 30 and random and give them awards like books and other stuff that we were giving. But mostly, they told me that they would appreciate it more if we will give them, aside from the Bibles and the Spirit of Prophecy books, you know what they would like us to give them? Rice. Okay, rice. It's the Filipino staple food. Everybody would appreciate rice. So we were giving them sacks of rice, 2 kilos each, almost every evening. Okay, and then other gifts. We will call them in front so that they will be available of other stuff that we were giving. Aside from rice, we would give noodles and canned goods and a lot of other items we would give as prizes and awards as incentive for them to come to the nightly meeting. So that's the, I told you it's a different culture, and so that's the style over there. This is Dr. Peterson's translator, Pastor Sinisa, and he did a good job in translating Dr. Peterson. Actually, he's not a translator. We call him an interpreter, or because he expounded more, okay, on what was saying. Okay, and then, of course, that's the baptism. That's the highlight of the Sabbath. And I was baptizing there in the ocean, and there's 5 of us. We had to hold hands going into the water, because I remember one of those that I baptized, suddenly I lose hold of him, and I could not find him. I think he's the one in the back, right there, swimming. He's swimming back. Come here, come back. Okay, so we were, there's one person there. Okay, so that's the only setback in the ocean. And they all knelt down when we came after the baptism. They came to the seashore or the beach, and everybody knelt down. And, you know, I could not kneel. You know, I had to help somebody, ask somebody to help me. But, you know, we had to raise our hand and give our blessing to all those people. So we gave them, each of those that got baptized, another Bible, which is not in English, but it was in their local dialect, okay, which is Bisayan. So that's, some of them have gowns. I don't know why others don't have. I think they ran out of gowns, okay. But we baptized that day 49 souls. Before that, on the Sabbath before that, 10 souls. And then last week, the pastor texted me. They said they baptized 6 souls. So put that together. And I'm the one in the last. I'm wearing like a priestly garb that they gave me. I did not know that the pastor that needs to be baptized have to wear that. I don't do that here. But I have to give them the blessing of Hocus Corpus Meum. Yeah, okay. So that's a Filipino Latin word of blessing. And so those are the people that got baptized. They were raising their Bibles, and it was a happy Sabbath. What an experience to baptize again in the ocean. I'm glad that the waves are not too strong. The wind is not too strong, because I remember my last baptism in the ocean. The wind came, and the wave just baptized me, okay? and everybody, and before I could baptize the other person. But that was a calm Sabbath there in the ocean, and we had a beautiful time baptizing. Okay? So, Brother Jeffrey, where are you? Come here and give, Jeffrey is one of those that were there for the baptism, okay? They made it to baptism, so give us your impressions on your mission trip. one of our elders here.
I think Pastor already said everything about the baptism, but I kind of say there, being there, the impression there was wonderful. You know, as we know that everything that is done there, the mission is to get soul for Christ. And one of the things, the experience that I have there, the people were very friendly. They were very nice. They were very warm. They were very welcoming. They were very loving. They were very kind. They want us to be there. And that's one of the experiences that I will never forget. And even with the baptism, they were eager to baptize. As Pastor said, 49 precious souls did come to Christ. And we could see it on their faces that they really want this. And one of the things that I can encourage us to do is to continue to pray for them, because we know as it is over and they're there, we still need to continue to pray for them so that the Holy Spirit and those who are working with them will continue to work with them so that they can continue to grow in Christ. But my experience there was wonderful. As Nyla said, if you ever get an opportunity to go on a mission trip, you should not refuse it, because it has something to do with your life, and it will help to change you and give you a different perspective and give you a different culture and see the difference. And some of the things that we take for granted, we recognize that we should be more grateful as we continue to serve God. So the experience is good, and I think all of us need to have that experience. And it was wonderful, Pastor. And as it said, a total of 56 precious souls were baptized.
Yeah. And we thank Jeffrey and Sophie. They brought also some gifts that we were able to give to the mission people and also to the other members. So thank you. And Dorothy was in charge of our music. She's our music director. So I'd like to let her share something about music, and then I think where's Helen, and then we'll give the time to Doc.
Hi. I was blessed. This is my first time to go with a mission trip. So I was really blessed to be able to join on this trip to the Philippines. During the nightly services, we were really blessed with beautiful music. This is what I see, beautiful music every night from different singing groups, and they are really professional when they sing. And so it was really an eye-opener for me that I could they are so involved. I think they hang out with each other always Fridays until the whole day Saturday, and they form small groups, and they try to compete to be, I think, better from one another. So the Odessa Midland team also participated in the musical program. One of them is Danielle Elnar, sang on one of those nights. Eliana, too, sang. And Marie and Michelle Peterson also sang. And they were so blessed also with their songs, and thank you so much for doing that. I did not know that Pastor Rason put us in the program. I was so shocked when she told us, when I found out that we were singing Divine Service, which is the final part of the program. And so my heart was pounding, my knees were shaking, because I wasn't really thinking of stressing myself on that mission trip. My mind was all about vacation. This is vacation time for me. And so I didn't even bring a single piece on that trip. But when you are we were put on a spotlight by Pastor Rason. He always does that to me. And so I don't have a choice but to, that Friday night, we decided to form a small group, ladies group, which is composed of Nancy Peterson, Michelle, and Marie, Almira, Padden, and Chloe, Padden, and Eliana, Danielle, and Ella. and myself, we practiced just that Friday night. Imagine that. We are not even a group. So we practiced by the grace of God, that divine service. You will know that our faces are like shock. All of us were like, we went up the stage, heart pounding, shaking, because we know that 90% of the audience are singers. And so we know what we are facing that day, but by the grace of God, we were able to sing for the glory of God. And all I could say is that no matter where we are, whether we go for a vacation or wherever the Lord takes us, we always had to be prepared, because we never know when the Lord would ask us to participate in His ministry, and we should be prepared to share our talents, whether great or small.
Thank you. As you could see, no, Filipino evangelistic meeting is complete without music. So we scheduled one special music every evening. And when the pastors saw it, he said, "No, we're scheduling three music, not one." Why? I said, "We only could do one." He said, "No, because all the other churches around would like to participate." So every evening, we have a brand new singing group, singing with all their choir and with all their group. And actually, the church alone that we were hosting us, they have, I think, 6 singing groups with them in the church. There's the local King's Heralds, there's the Heritage Singers, there's the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and there's a singing group of all senior citizens. Okay, they invited me to be part of that. Okay, senior citizen. Okay, and then there's a group for only young people, and only kids. There's all that church is all but beautiful singers, and they sang every evening. And so I think that made Dorothy really shake when it's their part to sing, because they were all excellent singers. So next, I'll request, where's Helen? Okay, Helen did her part in the medical mission. So, in fact, Helen brought a group of 6 or 5 of them, 5 people that help in the medical mission.
Medical mission, according to Sister White, it is the right hand of the gospel. That's why I am always excited to be a part of the medical mission. And I am sharing you some of the pictures. This is the group, some part of the group. And we are in the Operation Tule. Tule means circumcision. And Pastor already said that circumcision is a culture in the Philippines. And the boys there, ages 10 and up, were the ones that we serve. And in that area, these are some of the people. You can see their faces. If you can see them closely, some of them are excited. Some are afraid, but they want to be circumcised. They're afraid, but they always would want to be there. I mean, to be circumcised on that day. That one, the small one, I found him like praying and making sign of the cross before the circumcision. And okay, is there another one, Sister Nat? That one, I think. This video is just to show you. Yeah, it is a closed room, and it is participated by, you said, 7 doctors and some and nurses. And this is the people that we saw early in the morning. And I was so nervous when I saw it. I said, to my heart, I said, are we able to serve this for just one day? Because I used to go to medical mission for 2-3 days. It's not 3 days in the pathway to health, doctor? That was 3 days, right? But I said for one day, I said, uh, I don't know if we can be there. We can if we are. I mean, the number of hours are enough to serve these people. And you know, when we get ourselves involved in medical mission like this, we feel it's a fulfilling work. We can feel that we are doing what Jesus did when he was in this earth. And you can, maybe you have noticed that medical mission is always the forefront in every crusade that we do. So just like Sister Nyla said, whenever there are opportunities like this, get involved and you will feel Jesus is with you. Thank you.
Yeah, before I forget, I think before we give the time to Dr. Peterson, I think we have one more family that went with us, the Padin family. Where's Andrew? Okay. Andrew, give us a couple of minutes on your impression on medical mission. Is one of our elders here. And Andrew.
Happy Sabbath, y'all. So I'm technically here to report the social aspect of the medical mission. So if you, I believe you heard Nyla, everyone who have been here, who have stepped up here on the stage, I already told you that we had a lot of fun. We had a great time. So the whole week after the culminating event of the baptism, Sunday as a group we were supposed to do a whale watching, but we came out a little bit late. We rowed 2 boats, and I believe instead of whale watching, the whales are watching us after that, because we didn't see no whales. But I think I saw some dolphins though. I saw some dolphins from really far. I don't know if the first boat saw them too. Yes. Yeah, they saw it, but we didn't see we didn't saw the whales and the dolphins up close. And then we also, after that part, we went to this part of the beach. It's like a sandbar. I don't know if you're aware, if you've seen a sandbar. It's that shallow part of the ocean. It's in the middle of the ocean where you could actually walk on it. And this is just a picture that I procured that I feel like, appropriate for a divine worship. But we have a lot of pictures that we took, but this is, I think most of us have ridden this thrilling rides. This is, they call it the dragon boat. Are they supposed to flip you over? I know they're supposed to, but they're so full that the motor or the boat can't flip them over. I think it was like a really slow ride for them. But like I said, we had a lot of fun. We did this as a group, but I believe some of our party also did some island hopping. I think some of them went to Bohol, and then after this, we went to Cebu when we separated. But this is the main activity that we did, so a social activity we did. I also forgot to mention, I think Saturday night, we also had a social night with the church family there in Bagakay, Dumaguete. And as far as I know, I could attest that we had a lot of fun. It was great. It was a great experience for us. I believe that's all I have to say. Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, Almira was the one in charge of this picnic day that we did. Anyway, our main speaker was Dr. Peterson, and we are happy that he agreed. Originally, our main speaker was Pastor Leroy Sacon, the president of our conference, but he canceled the last time, and I visited in the house of Dr. Peterson and Nancy and talked with them, and I said, I could also be the speaker, but we need an American, okay? A tall American, okay? So, Dr. Peterson, please come forward and give your experience, impression in behalf of your family. Nancy, you like to come too and say something? Okay, so Doc. So we'll give the time to Doc. And this is the first time that Dr. Peterson was going to preach an evangelistic meeting. And he did a good job. Okay? I don't know how many pressure he's used to. I know he's used to getting pressure being the head elder in Midland Church and also the CEO in the emergency room in Midland Memorial Hospital. So, Dr. Peterson.
So I'd just like to ask you all to answer the question, why are you Seventh-day Adventists? The truth. Anyone, how many is that true for? You're Seventh-day Adventist for the truth. Are you Seventh-day Adventist for another reason? Witness, spread God's message. I heard family. So what did Jesus say about how we would know or recognize his disciples? By our love, right? So it wasn't just because they know what's correct. So when we went to the Philippines, I asked myself, because I probably spent 4 or 5 hours in preparation per each lecture, so I had a lot of time to think. And the one of the questions was, why are we doing this? What is our purpose here? And, you know, it's important that people know the truth. But if all they have is the truth, will they necessarily be in the kingdom of heaven? So there's Jesus, and another place in the Bible says, worship in truth with all your heart, or in love, right? So what I found in the Philippines were people who had hearts wide open. Pastor shared that the Philippines is the second fastest growing Adventist group or in the world, Brazil being number 1, Philippines being number 2. And I was wondering about it, and I think it's because their hearts are so open. They truly were loving, as was said. They don't just talk about their experience, they sing about it, they come together and share about it. I told the pastors there that I think they need to come here and do some evangelizing, because the church in North America is not growing as far as I know. I think it's shrinking. So it was a real blessing for me to be part of it. I've been on medical missions many, many times over, it seems like it's stretching into several decades. This was my first time being an evangelist. Yeah, so thank you for that opportunity, Pastor. I was proud to be part of a wonderful group with the Odessa Church here and working together, and also working together with the church leadership in the local mission in Negros Oriental. Yeah. They had a longer title for it, but there are missions there still. They're not conferences like we have here. To me, mission implies that they're still growing, they're still developing, and they haven't actually become settled into their own conferences. So I think you've gotten a feel for the experience of the folks who went. It was a joy, it was a growing experience for all who went that I'm aware of. And it was true this time, as it's been true for every trip I've been on. I believe that those of us who go are blessed more than those of us those that we serve. And I think that was true here. I pray for those that we left behind. We left a lot of good friends behind. We hope to see them again on this earth or in heaven. We pray for those who made decisions for God and were baptized. And I think that Pastor, I want to thank you for continuously organizing groups to do missions. I think as a pastor, that's probably the best thing he can do to grow and develop the people that he's responsible for. And I'd like you all to remember him in your prayers and with gratitude for what he's doing for all of us. I think that's all I have to say, unless there's anything else, Nancy or Pastor, you want to bring up?
So, I always look up to Dr. Peterson. I look up to him, literally. And so we thank Dr. Peterson and his family. I know the girls, this is the first time to be overseas in a third world country. And, but they made a lot of friends over there. And a lot of pictures I know were taken. And everybody would like to take pictures of these girls. And every time somebody will ask me about the girls, I said, talk to the father, the dad, okay? Right there, you have to go there. And Nancy, thank you for everything. And for everyone that has helped financially support this mission. The Petersons have been a big supporter of this mission trip financially, and everybody that has contributed. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts on everything that you have done. Now, Dr. Peterson, I told him you will not be the same person again, because after this crusade, you would want to do another crusade. If not in the Philippines, somewhere else. I think they're going next to Croatia.
Yeah, there's talk about going to Croatia in December.
Okay, so I told you, he got the hang of it. Now he's doing it more. Okay, so, but Dr. Peterson was an adopted Filipino. As you could see, he's wearing a Filipino barong. Okay, and the tallest Filipino so far. Okay.
Nice.
So, do we have some more pictures? Or I think I'm going to ask our group members to come here in front, and we would like to sing for you the song that we always sing before the crusades ends every evening, and we sing what we call the good night song. So I'll ask the group members to please come forward, and so we could sing this for our closing, our last song to end this mission report before we end our service. So
while they're coming up, we didn't actually talk about it, but the title of the series was Hope for the Family, and really the message was the fundamentals of the Seventh-day, what makes unique belief system of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and it truly is a protection and a hope for the family, and I was proud to be able to share that.
Yeah. We worked together on the sermons, on the topics, Dr. Peterson, and every topic was presented with a PowerPoint visual, and we need to show it here sometime because it centers on the family, on the importance of the family, and then we connect it to a Bible truth, right? The Sabbath, the state of the dead, the health reform, and all the doctrines of the Adventist Church. We put it and connected it to the importance of the family. So the title was Hope for the Family Bible Seminar. Okay, we'll be singing after the sermon. Each night after Dr. Peterson closes his sermon, we would sing a good night song to end the service. So we'll share with you that song today. Thank you, everyone, for being able to support this mission trip, and we thank you for your prayers. Doc, you like to say something? You just say thank you and
Yeah.
see you.
Exactly. So at this point, we would say good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. But in this case, it'll be next week.
For a closing song, let's sing Give of Your Best to the Master, hymn number 572. 572. Shall we all rise? Let's sing the first and last stanzas only. Give of your best to the Master. Give of the strength of your youth. Throw your soul's golden ardor into the battle for truth. Jesus has set the example. Dauntless was he, young and brave. Give him your loyal devotion. Give him the passion you have. Give of your best to the Master. Give him the space of your hand. Give him salvation's ardor into the battle for truth. Let's sing the third stanza. Give of your best to the Master, not else to worship his love. He who lives answer free above. Give of God Give of your best to the Master. Give all the strength of your youth. Clad in salvation's full armor, join in the battle for truth.
Thank you so much, O Lord, for the opportunity to give our best for the Master in service and in the proclamation of the good news of salvation. Thank you for giving this opportunity to do missions for you. Now we could do also missions here in our sphere of influence, in our community, in our homes, and in our church. And help us, O Lord, to uphold your name until Jesus comes. We could be home in the heavenly abode that you're preparing. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.